You are standing on the 100th floor of a skyscraper. 50 meters away, there's another building. Between both buildings, there's a wooden plank. 15 centimeters wide, 50 meters long. No harness, no safety net. And the wind is brutal. Now someone looks at you and says, "Cross it, and I'll give you 5,000 euros. Would you do it? Most people wouldn't. Not because they physically can't, but because fear becomes stronger than the reward. Now imagine the rules change. The prize becomes 50,000 euros. The plank is slightly wider, but the danger is still there. Suddenly, more people consider it. More people step closer to the edge. More people think, maybe I can do this. But here's where it gets interesting. Now remove the money completely, because on the other building, your baby is crawling near the edge. One wrong movement, and they fall. Would you cross now? Most people suddenly would. Same height, same wind, same danger. But now, the goal has become burning importance. And that changes everything. This is one of the biggest truths about human behavior. Most people are not limited by ability. They are limited by emotional intensity. When the reason is weak, the mind negotiates. It hesitates. It calculates risk. It searches for comfort. But when the reason becomes powerful enough, something activates. Suddenly, people find courage they never had before, strength they never showed before, focus they never used before. Because humans are emotional creatures first, and logical creatures second. That's why people can stay stuck for years, until life punches them in the face. A breakup, a diagnosis, a betrayal, a near-death experience. And suddenly, they become disciplined overnight. Not because discipline magically appeared, but because the pain finally became stronger than their excuses. Your actions are always connected to what your brain believes is important. That is the real fuel of human behavior. Now, let's go deeper. Imagine you have an incredible business idea. A business that could completely transform your life. Your family's future could change forever. Freedom, security, opportunity. But there's one problem. You need 2 million euros, and you only have 1 month. Most people stop immediately. They don't even truly begin. Why? Because fear blocks movement. Fear of debt, fear of judgment, fear of failure. Fear of losing comfort. People say they want success, but emotionally, they are more attached to safety. Now, let's change the story. Imagine your children are kidnapped. You receive a message. Pay 2 million euros or lose them forever. You still don't have the money. But now watch what happens. Suddenly, the impossible becomes possible. People will call everyone they know, sell everything, borrow, negotiate, travel, beg, fight, work without sleep, do things they never imagined doing before. Why? Because the goal became survival. Urgency destroys hesitation. Purpose destroys excuses. And when the brain decides something is life or death important, human beings become terrifyingly resourceful. Here's the formula most people never understand. Your fuel is your goal. That goal creates emotional power. That emotional power creates action. And action creates results. Simple, but dangerous. Because this mechanism works for both positive and negative directions. A powerful goal can build a business or destroy a life. A burning obsession can create greatness or addiction. That's why you must stay conscious of what you feed your mind every day. Because whatever dominates your emotions eventually dominates your behavior. Your brain is always listening, always adapting, always following the strongest emotional signal. And the terrifying part, most people never consciously choose their signal. They drift, they react, they follow fear, social pressure, distraction, comfort, instead of designing a future with intention. But the people who change their lives usually do one thing differently. They make the goal emotionally real. Not someday, not maybe, now. Be careful, because the same fire that can save you can also consume you. Human beings become unstoppable when emotion reaches extreme intensity. But intensity without awareness becomes destruction. Some people become obsessed with growth. Others become obsessed with revenge. Some chase purpose. Others chase escape. That's why awareness matters. You must consciously choose what deserves your energy, because every minute that passes is gone forever, and every minute ahead is still being written. You are writing it right now, with your focus, your habits, your emotional priorities. The question is not, do you have power? The question is, what direction is your power moving in? Most people wait for desperation before they change. But what if you learned to create that level of purpose before life forces it onto you? What if your goals became so emotionally important that action became automatic? That is when lives transform. Not when conditions become perfect, but when the reason becomes stronger than the fear. And maybe that reason starts today. If you found this inspiring, I warmly invite you to explore my channel and other videos. Subscribe to my channel and like this video, because the next decision you make might quietly shape the rest of your life.